So, hey Capricorn, my name is Chris, and this is your beautiful reading for whenever you freaking find it in 2026. Because 2026 is such a seismic shift year, so pretty much every reading is kind of a yearly reading. Okay, so 2026, Capricorn, my friend, there is the full card for you, and there's the Page of Swords. So, new beginning, and Page of Swords is this energy where you're no longer naive. You learn a few things. The World card is the closure of the old circle. That's the last card of the Great Arcana, and that's the first card. So you kind of came full circle in whatever regard. And then there's the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords kind of negates this super naivety about the Fool card. So the Fool card is just a jolly good fellow, everything is great. It's just, new beginnings, and let's just be super euphoric and everything is just wonderful. But hey, this Fool card is accompanied by the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is anything but naive. The Page of Swords is super prepared for everything. And, these two cards in combination, that's a good, smart, new beginning. Don't rush anything, one step at a time, right? And, not everything that looks shiny and new is worth pursuing, okay? So the Fool card, and there's the Queen of Cups, beautiful, and the Page of Cups. Queen of Cups, Page of Cups, you're going your way, and you're trusting your emotions. You're absolutely sure about who you are, what you want, and what you feel. And what you do is you're pursuing a new path that is a little bit different than your old path. When you think about what did you do since 2008, what did you do in the last 8, 9, 10 years, what you're doing in the next cycle, in the next 20 years, more or less, is pretty different from that. Pluto in Capricorn, that was the old story. Pluto in Aquarius, that's the new story. Cups, energy, water energy, trusting your emotion, making sure that what you do is in alignment with what you love to do, right? So not going against your intuition, not going against your feelings, not overwriting your feelings with intellect, No, I'm not doing this just because it looks good on your CV. I'm not doing this because it pays so well. I'm not doing this because, the job title sounds so good or something like that. You're doing it because it feels right for you, and it is an expression of your highest self, right? Page of Cups, Queen of Cups, trust your feelings. Don't override your feelings, and don't be naive about the world, right? The Fool card, this new beginning, is different. Okay, 3 cards come out, then we take the Strength card as well. There's the Sun card, there's the King of Wands. What else we got? The 7 of Wands. Strength card is here as well. So that's beautiful, right? Seems like the good times are beginning connected to this new beginning. That's good. You totally stood your ground, and you have to stand your ground. It's an ongoing process to stand your ground, to keep your frequency up, to not, that's what I always say, and I never get tired of saying this because it's such a good phrase. Don't jump down into the mud with the pigs, right? If they lie, don't lie. If they behave shady, you're not doing the same, right? You uphold your principles in integrity and authenticity. And this new beginning, there's the new beginning. There's the Sun card. That's the good news. Everything looks pretty good. But that's also the reminder, one's energy, right? One's energy is the energy of fire, is the energy of passion, is the energy, not getting triggered by anger, not getting triggered by, not allowing anybody to lower your frequency into guilt, fear, shame, into anger, into frustration, or even hatred, even if there are shady people in the world. It's a narcissist epidemic out there, right? So uphold your principles and never ever forget the world is what it is, one step at a time. And, you know, not everybody who smiles to you is your friend. Not everybody who tells you exactly what you want to hear is your friend, right? So it's actually when somebody looks too good and tells you exactly the one thing that you want to hear, that's kind of at least an orange flag, I would say. King of Wands, Queen of Cups, knowing your feelings, acting accordingly, especially when it comes to what you're doing with your life, what you're doing on a daily basis, joyful creation, right? That's the couple with the Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups here. And then you got Queen of Cups, Page of Cups. And then you got the King of Wands and the Strength card. Again, fire energy, right? You're upholding your principles. You're not getting lit by anger or frustration, right? So King of Wands controls his, or I shouldn't say control is such a strange word, but you're in charge of your sexuality. You're in charge of your fire. You're in charge of your emotions. You're in charge of your passion, right? So you register your inner emotions, your inner emotional state, mainly in the sense, how does it feel? How does it make me feel? Is it an expression of my highest self? Is it something that I love to do? Then the lights are green, then go for it. And the King of Wands with the Strength card and the Seven of Wands, right? Don't get lit up by fire. Don't get provoked. Don't take baits of narcissists, because they want to play you through guilt, fear, shame, but they also want to make you angry, get you hatred, get you into hatred, and basically lit your fire, lit your wants, energy, and manipulate you this way. So you uphold your principles, you're not dealing in lies. If they deal in lies, you're not behaving like them, upholding your principles, and being in charge of your passion. That's sexual energy, that's fire energy, that could be strong emotions, that could be anger as well, right? There's the Justice card, and there's the Devil underneath the Justice card, which is very nice to see. And what else we got? There's the Four of Cups. Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So you might feel a little, how do I say this? You might feel a little stressed out. You might feel a little skeptical about this new beginning, right? You think, okay, so we were kind of preaching, reading this new beginning here for quite a while into our readings, into our cards. In 2025, I said 2026 is the first year where the tides are turning, basically. And the tides are turning, but you might, when the tides are turning, and you might still stand at the beach, and there might still be just, no water, right? So the water is coming back. But if the tides begin to turn, and they are turning, right? They have turned. Doesn't mean that's like switching on a light switch and then bam, the water is back, right? No, it's a process, right? But the tides have turned, and there is a new beginning here. Just make sure your justice is coming, right? Just like the tide is coming in, but it's not coming in like 1 second to the next, 1 moment to the next. There's a brand new day. Don't be naive about the world. There's your Eight of Cups. Try to leave behind the old chapter with all that shadiness and stuff, right? Yeah, and that sometimes is, you might be a little grumpy. You might be a little, oh, really? The new beginning, right? Didn't you say that last year, But last year I told you 2025 was pretty much the last year where the old system was what was stronger basically, or the old frequencies were stronger than the new frequencies, and this year it's changing. It has changed. The tides have turned, actually. So what else we got? A few clarifiers. There's the Seven of Wands, and you have to make a decision, and you have to make the decision every day to uphold your principles, to not jump down into the mud with the pigs if you're in a situation where you get provoked, where you get baited into reactive behavior towards narcissistic tendencies, right? So don't, as I said, behave like them. Don't be drawn into guilt, fear, shame stories. Don't be drawn into anger and frustration or even hatred. And it's a daily practice. And the daily practice for me, meditation and breath work. 1 second in, no, not 1 second in, but 10 seconds in, basically 20 seconds out, or 7 seconds in, 14 seconds out. Breath work. The out breath 2 times that of the in breath. So you're releasing negativity. Do it for 5 minutes. If you've never done it, do it for half an hour if you're a little more experienced, and then combine that with the same amount of meditation. That's your daily practice. Freaking daily practice. And you really have to make a choice every day. Every day you start a fire and begin again, right? So it's a daily freaking practice. I can't stress this enough. It's not that you get it once. You have to practice that which you get, what you have learned in the last developmental cycle every freaking day. You have to make a decision every day for joyful, loving creation. You have to make a decision not to get carried away by strong emotions or strong inner passionate impulses. You tame that freaking lion. You're not fighting it, you're cultivating it. And that's a daily choice, right? That's a daily practice. The Sun card and the Two of Wands, that's a brand new day. That seems like a good time is coming. Maybe the last time was not so beautiful. And then, there's justice and there's the Four of Wands, and you might expect a sudden justice. You might expect, I don't know, you're probably not getting an apology. I wouldn't wait for that, at least, right? If that's what you're waiting for. It's a little more mundane, right? You just protect your little seedlings and do your thing. Each day you start a fire and begin again. And that's your justice, right? That's when everything comes together, one step at a freaking time. And yeah, you might be a little fatigued, you might be a little, but that's okay. There's the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups clarifying, let's just say it's clarifying the King of Wands and the Strength card. So there are antagonistic, toxic, narcissistic people in this world. You cannot change them. You can only change your reaction, the way you react towards these negative people. In a way, you have to make peace with it, peace with the world as it is. Try not to change people, try not to explain yourself, try not to engage with these people in the first place. Do not explain, do not personalize, and try not to fight. Fighting means to take the bait of the narcissist. Make peace with the world as it is and be not tempted into reacting to their baiting. If you choose to respond, a reaction is involuntary. You get triggered, you react. But a response is more deliberate. There's a little gap between the trigger and then you decide, do I want to give that a response? Is it worthy of my response? That's a conscious decision. And it takes out the, it's no longer a reaction. It's no longer instant. It's no longer involuntarily. You have, even if it's a split second, right? You have time to make a conscious decision. How do I want to react if you choose to react? Maybe it doesn't even deserve a reaction, a response, I should say. Maybe it's not even worthy your attention at all, right? So do not fight, do not argue with these people, right? And also not your inner impulses, right? That's the King of Wands, Queen of Cups. What you do should feel good on a daily basis. Two more, there's the Fool card, beautiful, and the Judgment card, or the Judgment card. You're waking up to a brand new day. That's really, really beautiful. Joyful, loving creation. There's the Ten of Pentacles at the clarifier bottom of the deck, and there's the Eight of Wands. You know, you're walking away from something that was just not meant for you, and there's a new chapter in your life, and it begins now. And now is the time when it's always happening, because ultimately there is just the eternal now, and now is all we've got. So use this now and be awake and aware to make conscious decisions, to uphold your principles, uphold your integrity, uphold your authenticity. Don't get baited into negativity, guilt, fear, shame, toxicity, anger, hatred, frustration. Don't argue with narcissists. Don't explain yourself. Don't engage with them. Don't personalize what they do. Just let them do their thing and you do your thing. And you got so much beautiful things to focus on, to concentrate on, right? This Eight of Cups here is basically the night before this brand new day, right? And there's the Sun card, that's your brand new day. And while you were leaving behind something and it kind of made you feel, you know, maybe that's still the aftermath with the Four of Cups here, where you think, oh, I had to leave something behind. Why exactly did I have to leave that behind? It was meaningful to you, but you left it behind, and good riddance. Here's your brand new day. Here's your new start. You totally owe this to yourself. You deserve it. And what is happening here in 2026, beginning for you in 2026, it's a longer process. It's pretty much the next 20 years, I would say. Joyful, loving creation on a daily basis, not just on the weekend, on a freaking daily basis. And it's so much better than what you had to leave behind. Yeah, and it is a choice. And let's just do one more. The Orion Gate. Okay. Let's just see what this is about. So yeah, the Orion Gate is basically this reminder that you have to take care of yourself, right? So you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to take care of yourself, and you can't just live for the weekend. That's probably what we have done since 2008. I mean, it has a longer standing tradition, that's for sure. Living for the weekend, right? Overriding our own needs and our own highest expression for some shitty 9-to-5 job, something like that. And you might still have a 9-to-5 job, but maybe you can make it a 8-to-4 job, you know, just cuddle down and carve out space and time if you can manage to do that, right? It's not like, you know, it's not like the tide is coming in like instantly. These changes take time, but you go into that direction one freaking step of a time at a time, and you're going into the direction to carve out space and time on a daily basis for joyful, loving creation, for doing what is meaningful to you. That's your justice. That's what you deserve, and that's what you owe to yourself. And that's the Orion Gate. That's self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself. And that's pretty much all I got. There's one quote I want to give you as well. Be human, be enough, be grateful, be blessed, right? Maybe we get a second one and a third. Respect your body, you know, take good care of yourself. Don't get carried away with passion. That's also sexuality, by the way. The King of Wands is not, you know, it's not a good time for one-night stands, I would say. Respect your body, respect your boundaries, respect when you need to rest. Be human, be enough, be grateful, be blessed. And never forget but that's, you know, you walked away from something that probably looked pretty good on the outside. Maybe that in itself was a bait. Maybe somebody tried to give you something that was kind of toxic at the core, and it was kind of poisonous, and you walked away from it, and now you choose something that is much more in alignment with yourself, and you're working on that. And if you're resonating with this channel, chances are you're more on the empathic side, and you might have just done that in the last 9 or 10 years, probably since 2008. And there are people who might have chosen otherwise. And there's a good Hannah Arendt quote: "Those who choose the lesser evil forget very quickly that they chose evil." Not choosing evil is a daily practice, and there's our choice card that gets mentioned as well. It is a daily practice, a daily conscious decision, right? Each time, each morning you start a fire and begin again. Each day you make the right decision not to get baited by narcissistic people, not behave the same way, not to deal in guilt, fear, shame, and anger, not to allow anybody to lower your frequency. You know, uphold your principles, choose inner peace, you know, and that's a daily freaking practice. Breathwork, meditation, take care of yourself in that regard. And not choosing evil, right? Upholding your principles. And that's all I got. Share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. There's a yearly reading, there's a summer reading. And if you want the full picture, check out the sun, moon, and rising. That's all I got now. But my friend. Ciao.